And welcome to Thursday training. It's good to be your face again. My name is Roy, and it's good to see you. For those of us on ground, it's good to see you. Basil, it's good to see you. Priska, it's good to see you. Emmanuel, God we thought. It's good to see you, Mary. It's good to see you, Mr. Ralph. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Sugar. It's good to see you, Jay. It's good to see you, Obama. I love your smile. Don't your smile at me this morning. It's just something. It's good to see each and every one of you this morning, and those of you online, it's good to see you as well. Last week was amazing. Last week was phenomenal. For me, the takeaway was the mindset game, your mind, how your mind affects your sales. And this week, it's part two. If you stay to the end of this video, which you will, of course, you'll be learning a lot on how to take your sales game to the next level, how to make multiple sales despite how bad the economy can be. You'll be smashing sales back to back to back if you're able to stay to the end of this video, today's training session. And with that being said, welcome again to today's training. So we are Braudy Global. We are a real estate development and marketing company, and we are Redan certified, and we have a platform for you to start, build, and scale your real estate business, and that's the Braudy Realtors group. A link will be posted in the comment section for you if you want to join, for you to join and start your real estate journey. For those of us here again, welcome. It's good to see each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So, like my boss and my mentor would always say, your words affect your world. Your words form your realities. And that's why here at Braudy, we do not take our affirmations for granted. Affirmations are very strong. And right about now, before we get into the training proper, we are going to take our affirmations. And yes, please, I crave your indulgence to do this with me. Be here, be present, and you just watching online. If there's anything that will distract you this moment, please set it aside and ensure that you go on this journey with us. With that being said, let's get straight into it. Man, oh, the smile, I mean, this smile, you just. Okay, good morning again. Now, first of all, taking a deep breath. Deep breath in, out. Now deep breath in, out. Now release yourself. Take the tensions off your shoulders. Make sure you're here. Make sure you're present. Are you ready now? All right, let's go. I am the best at what I do.
I am the best.
I create exceptional results.
I create exceptional results.
I have the skills,
I have the skill,
knowledge, drive, and ambition to achieve my goals. I persist until I succeed. I execute. I am proactive. Impossibility does not exist. I am not afraid to ask for help and seek knowledge. Success begins with my mindset. Today and always, I will strive for excellence. I am surrounded by smart, capable, and supportive individuals. Today is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become a better version of myself. I am grateful for my job, business, work, family, friends, colleagues, and new experiences. Yes, I can do great things. It may not be easy, but it will be worth it. I give 100% to my goals. I see the big picture. I am Roy Mo Ashimole. Call your name. I am Roy Mo Ashimole. Nothing is too big for my mind.
too big for my
Nothing is too big for my mind.
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 Nothing dies in my hands.
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 Now take that in. Breathe out the possibilities. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe the atmosphere has been set for the next level of today's training. This is that point where the captain will say, "Welcome to air cruise level. You can take off your seatbelts now." All right, so we are ready right now to go to the next level. We're ready right now to enter the training proper. For those of you joining online, welcome again. Welcome to Braudy Global Thursday trainings, and we are about to enter the next level. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, last week was amazing, and this week is yet going to be much more amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to welcome our facilitator and trainer for today, my mentor and my boss, the one and only phenomenal, the one and only master salesman, the one and only Mr. Jeff Anozie. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are free, please put your hands together. Put your hands together. Welcome, boss.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to be here today. It's good to see you all. Mary, Emmanuel, Madam Priska, Basil, Jacinta, Sugar, Bamara, Roy, Freddie, Wizzy on the mic, Wizzy on the beats. It's good to see you here today. Welcome again. I'm excited to be doing this today again. Who else is excited here? Let me know in the comment section if you're excited to be in today's training. Well, comment name and where you are joining us from. This is, of course, our usual Thursday, and these trainings are free every Thursdays by 10 a.m. right here on site and online. I want to welcome you all. Last week began a segment titled "How to Make Multiple Sales Even in a Bad Economy." Right? How do you make multiple sales? I'm also going to add, how do you make multiple sales and huge commissions even in a bad economy? Because you can be making sales and not making money, right? So how do you make multiple sales and huge commissions even in a bad economy? So I want to welcome you all. For those that these trainings are free, of course, if you follow our trainings from February, I think in January we didn't do on a break. So from February till now, you can literally be fully schooled in real estate marketing. Who agrees? Yes or yes? Yes. Right. However, for those that want crash courses in real estate and how to start and grow a real estate business, we have Realtors School and Realtors.school, which is it's an online school where we help you start from the scratch. Like you have no idea about real estate or what to do, and to help you build a business, start, grow, and scale a real estate business profitably, because a lot of people are doing real estate but are not very profitable with it. So in Realtors School, we show you how to be very profitable with real estate. Okay. Before we go on, I want to announce to you, for those that don't know, that the early bird is dead for our Southeast Realtors Conference. The bird died on the 31st of October, right? And so for those that want to join the VIP and VVIP section, 30th of, what's 23rd in my head? It's my anniversary, So 30th of September, that's when the bird. So early bird is gone. And I mean, it was interesting how lots of people took advantage of the VVIP, especially. I mean, we're over 30 of us now, Abby, Roy, around that. Yeah. The VVIP for the conference and awards. The conference and awards, South Regional Conference and Awards is free. It's happening on the 8th of November. It's a free event. However, of course, there are more on that towards the end of this section. For the sake of today's training, we're going to be doing the part of how to make multiple sales even in the economy. And I would like that if you have any questions, you can, pen it down. You can ask me while we go on, as well as online. If you have any question at all around making real estate skills, like how to market or build a business out of, you would want to drop it in the comment section. We'll do well to attend to it towards the end of the section. Okay. This conversation, right? In conversation, we talked about a few things. We set the ground for how to make multiple sales even in a bad economy. It was quite a 2-hour section. How many of us were here? How many of us enjoyed it? Okay, the replay will be in the comment section. They're going to drop that replay for last week in the comment section. If you also don't want to miss subsequent sections, you can as well subscribe to the YouTube channel that's going to be showing in the comment section for you here. I don't know how to say comment section here for people here. All right. Yeah, so it will be there. In that section, we set the base, because I believe very strongly that making sales and sales is strategic is not random. What most people see as marketing is not really marketing. What most people see as marketing is hawking. So people hawk real estate, literally. Okay. Marketing basically is, everything you do to create awareness around the product. Everything you do doesn't start when you step out to go and meet someone. That's not when it starts. You know that, right? There is a foundation you do. In fact, in my opinion, the most important work in marketing is the one you do behind the scenes, not what you do outside. So what you do outside is basically a function of what you have arranged behind the scenes. For most people, they just wake up and roam around the streets, and at the end of the day, they feel like they've expended a lot of energy and there is no results. And most times we quit saying this thing does not work or this thing is not for me, right? And that is why we started last week with the foundation, which is the mindset. I want to believe very strongly, and I'm teaching already, right? Very strongly that your biggest asset is your mind. That's your biggest asset as a person, is your mind. And that's why the good book said, guide our hearts with all diligence. I mean, had to emphasize that. Why? Issues of life. So what's the meaning of issues of life? Everything in life, like your, right, is just dependent on that. That's how powerful. I needed to state that, because most times it's not the effort, it's not the prayer that is not working or paying off. It's not the prayer that is not paying off. It's not the effort that is not paying off. It's the mind. So if you plant a very good seed in a bad soil, there is no how it will grow. Is that not true? Right? So no matter how much of a good seed you have, real estate to me is a very good seed. Okay. The efforts we make in marketing and doing stuff, we're doing it right. Like we're watering the seed properly, right? However, if the seed is planted, if you plant an apple tree in the middle of Agribank Junction, will it grow? It will not. So that's what we did last week. We tried to set the foundation. However, the beautiful thing about the mind is that it can be transformed. It can. If it was that you cannot do anything about your mind, then there's a problem. Or it can be transformed, right? And that's the beauty about it. And that's what we tried to do last week by setting some ground rules. For instance, we said, what was the first point we made last week for those that were here? Repositioning your mind. and we said some things, we stated some facts. And I said the first one of the first things I said was a favorite economy for everybody at the same time. There's never a time, there will never be a time like that, right? That said, I said another point. What else did we talk about last week? Yes, there's another point before this. There's some facts I laid down. Some people break even. Now, it's there, it's in circulation. I also made a point that every day of the year, someone buys real estate. I mean, someone buys real estate. So most times you don't sell not because someone is not buying or people are not buying. You don't sell because you're probably not positioned enough to get in the line of the sales, right? Right. And this is what we're going to be talking about today: how to position yourself right and be strategic enough to make sales. So we've talked about the mind. If you've not watched that one, please go back to last week. The link will be in the comments. Watch the replay there. So today we're going into the part 2. I believe strongly that last week was amazing. I watched it myself and I was jotting notes from myself, right? Now, after getting the mindset right, last week we just repositioned the mind. We just did that. That was the major thing we did last week. Today, we're taking it a step further. Now that you've repositioned the mind, you've arranged the soil, you've made it productive enough to grow the seeds. What do you then do? What's the next things to do? The mindset is right, everything is right. What next? Okay. I believe the next thing is, and that's why I added huge commission here, huge commissions. The next thing to me is, what does huge commissions mean to you? How many of us have ever thought about our FFN, financial freedom number? My mentor always says that, FFN. Jeff, what is your FFN? What is that figure as it is now? Of course, that figure is progressive. It's progressive. As you go, it's progressive, right? I know somebody that told me one time that her prayer point was 100,000. I mean, that was like, if she gets 100,000 at that point of her life, man, she's okay. And in my mind, you mean like 100,000 naira at that point, right? And sincerely, you're going to respect everybody's FFN per time because life is progressive. So have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about, a lot of us make a lot of prayers. God, I want financial freedom. I want breakthrough. I want sales. I want this thing. But do you have a number? I'm almost 100% sure that 7% of people here don't have it. True or true? So first assignment today, what is your financial freedom number? And I'm talking about money. I'm not talking about 1 to 10 or 100. No, money. How much is that amount to you right now? Can sort your, let me even explain. What is a financial freedom number? Who knows? It's a figure monthly. You know your monthly expenses, right? You know that, right? What's that figure monthly that sorts your expenses and you still have a bit extra? Let me say it like this. What is that figure that will sort your monthly expenses comfortably twice every month? And he says things like, if you can't pay for this thing twice, you can't afford it. And that's why some people, when they buy iPhone like this, they want to die if he lost. Like, did you get it? Because that's like maybe they are 3 months. So he says things like, if you can't afford it twice, like you can't buy this one thing 2 times, you cannot afford it. You can't pay for it twice, you can't afford it. So that's why I'm saying your monthly upkeep money twice. What is that figure? I want to assume that you've thought about it, Abi. For me, in 2021 January, it was ₦1 million. 1 million naira for me. 2021 January, it was 1 million. So all my Shiloh and all my NIPPD and all my prayer points, 1 million solves everything. And that's why I say things like there are some prayers we make, and if someone like Elon Musk walk into a church, or let me use Aliko Dangote, walks into a church, you'll feel like he's God. This person is praying for a 2 million naira car, and the guy is saying, so why am I even here again? I cannot say it's prayer. I mean, again, life is what? Progressive. At every point in time, I believe very strongly that for your prayers to be answered, there has to be a figure. That's why Jesus, while he walked on the earth, he always asked them, what would you have me do for you? You can see that this guy is blind. Sorry, not you. That guy. You can see he's blind. Jesus is not blind to see that this guy is blind, right? But you still ask him. Why? Because he knows that your request per time that's what you can answer. You can't answer something that is not your request. I can't see that you need a car. I'm seeing it clearly. You need a car, for instance, maybe a Benz. But you're asking me for a Corolla. I will give you a Corolla. I won't give you the Benz, even though I feel the Benz would have been better for you. But I will give it to you because of your capacity per time. I know that you have potentials for this, but this is what your mind can carry for now, right? And that's what that's the kind of answer, that's the kind of prayer that will be answered at that point. You know that, right? How many of you know this? This is what I'm saying now. How many of you know that all your prayer points are not up to what your potential is? How many of you know that? You don't know, I mean? I mean, that's on the side, but again, I feel like your request per time is progressive. One of the major importance of having an FFN is that it helps you measure your life, so that as you grow, once you hit those FFNs, right, per time, your mind expands, and that is very important. The truth is, that money, that amount, you may not hit it when you want to, but the fact that there is an amount, when you hit anything, as much as you are grateful for those anything, right, you still have your mind set on this. This is the importance of this. That is why most times, when I discuss with people and they don't have figures, I feel like some people feel like it's humility not to have figures. Oh, let me just have enough to take care of myself. You're not serious. I don't think you are. Because enough is not a figure. Right? Have a figure. Have a figure. That's where it starts from. Because with that, you can now go into the next step. The next step is what? So how do I then achieve this? For me, like I said, January 2021, it was 1 million. With 1 million, with the wife and 2 kids, with my bills, I felt like I would be okay. I mean, my rent was around 300, 350-ish at the time. So in my head, once I remove rent money, feeding, fuel money, you know what I'm talking about? Gauge money, feeding money one side, I'll still have maybe around 400k-ish. Yeah, if you're seeing money in your account, there's a joy it gives you, Abi. Headache used to disappear. Some people have headache because their account is looking. In fact, for the last 1 week, it was red. It just be, how? My God, bank people are very wicked. When income come, it to be green, but as you're spending, it's not be red. Let me silence your phones. Thank you, ma. As income come, it to be green, Abi. You'll not be smiling every day. This place will now be red. Why do they have to do it red? They should not have done one color so that So that our brain will not be registering. And every time this thing is, I believe that one drop of your blood used to miss. Like, and the headache will now be piling small. And I believe very strongly that that's why in our Lord's Prayer, I say, give us this day our daily bread. So at least every day, let small green be coming in. Let it be neutralizing the red, the danger. Right. So the point I was trying to make in all of this is the FFN. Now, after explaining all of this, how many of us now have an FFN? You don't still have one. We should have figured it out by now. You can just summarize in your head, okay, this amount can sort my bills, this amount. See, this is very important. It sounds, what's the word now? It sounds not so important, but it's very important. It is very important to have a figure. So every morning when you wake up, you look at that figure, you have it there. And that's why they said, write the vision down, make it plain so that whoever sees it can run. You have to see it to be able to run. You can't run to where you're not seeing. Okay? So the next thing is, what is your huge commission? What does it look like? Some people believe that anything that comes in, let something just come in. I feel like you're not going to grow. That said, why is this important? It's important because it then forms your strategy. Again, marketing is not random. It is what? Strategic. It is strategic. It is not random. For me, again, like I said, at the time, it was what? 1 million. Naira is not USD. 1 million Naira at the time. Based on what we know about real estate and sales, how much do I need to sell per month to get 1 million Naira? Averagely, Abi, 10 million. So 10 million Naira from what we know about sales. I mean, some people give as low as 5%, right? But the much we know about sales and marketing, right? I mean, averagely, we know that 10% usually is from sales. So you see that I now have a target, right? I now have a target based on what? You see that, right? You see it's coming in place, it's coming together, right? So this is important because of this. Now that you have a target, what do you then do to achieve that? What do you then do? This is now marketing. This thing I'm just explaining now is marketing. So what do I then do? First thing I have to do is to determine, now that I know that 10 million Naira is my sales target for this month, I now have to look for property or that property that can give me, right? So at the time, what did I do? I had a product then that I was selling for 4 million. So I thought to myself, if I sell 3 of these, Abi, 3 times 4 is 12, Abi? Yeah. If I sell 3 of these in a month, I have hit this goal that can help me hit this goal. So I gave myself a 3-month plan, a 3 months plan, right? From the 1st of January at the time to 31st of March. She's 31st March. I try go school small. 31st March, right? So from the 1st of January to 31st March, my goal, I had a 90 days game plan. So by 31st of March, I had to hit 1 million every month. Let me tell you how bad I did it. I quit most of the other jobs that were giving me income. I mean, you don't have to be like me. But I believe very strongly that it's only when your back is against the wall that you can fully unleash your potentials. That's it. You can never fully unleash your potential. Still, unleashing your potential is the only thing you have to do. Like, you don't know how strong you are until only being strong is the only way out. Yeah. And that's why I believe there are things like positive pressure. I deliberately put myself under positive pressure. There are things I do that by the time we start doing it, sincerely, there's no way this thing can be achieved. But we start it anyways. As you're doing it, guess what happens? Your brain opens up. See, the law of inertia is a very strong thing, affects our life every day. It's the Newton's first law of motion. I think I did science more, I guess more sense. Newton's first law of motion states that what? A body at rest remains at rest until what? External force. See that external force? Some of us are waiting for, I don't know what we actually wait for to get that external force. We believe they're supposed to come from somewhere, Abi. Sometimes external force comes from problems. There's a book called Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. I read that book, I think, some 5 years ago. And in that book, it states things like this. You don't wait for, my mentor always tells me that it's better to have money and have nothing to do with it than to have problem and not have money to solve it. Yeah. So most times, I mean, we literally usually wait till, you know. So I've noticed that in my life, I have a 1 year cycle. I think I've gotten used to putting myself under positive pressure so much that every 12 months, my body starts doing me, okay, we are done at this level. Next, what is the next? That's how it does me now. Because I believe very strongly that the purpose of existence is growth. And growth is necessarily not, I mean, we did Mr. Niger D, Navi. Growth is not necessarily height and itola. Itola. No, that's not good. That's not necessarily growth. Growth is also in every ramification. Spiritually, mentally, physically. Accountability. Accountability. Right? That is growth. So where you are last month, or whatever you've achieved last month, to me was last month. Right? So at every point in time, you have to grow beyond what you know, right? And so by that January, so I set that goal for March. And that now what metamorphosed into the strategy I now had to go through. Remember that whatever your FFN is, or whatever goal or target you have at that point, is not what you're used to. It's not what your brain is used to, right? And so the capacity to achieve that has to be built. So most times we make prayer points, but we don't realize that that prayer point you're making, you ought to build capacity for it. You know that, right? So as you're making prayer points, you're also trying to set aside plans and, strategy to build capacity to accommodate that prayer point. I saw a news yesterday on social media about that Akwarafa guy, Dr. H2O. What was the news about? I mean, this is not to diss anybody. I'm just trying to use that to, draw a point. What was the news about? 8 million in like 3 months. Why is that? Because the capacity for that level had not been built. Simple. I see that all the time, and that is what happens all the time. It's not any village, anybody. The capacity ought to be built. Yes, it had to be built. You cannot, even if God comes down today, that's why when he was giving out the talents to the 3 servants, I say this all the time. He gave them according to what? Their various capacities per time. And what happened? You literally saw that they played out their capacity. The person he gave 1, what did he do? He dug it. God, I mean, the master knew that this guy, even if I give him 10, he's not going to use it well. He's not going to use it well to still come back to 1. So he gave him what? 1. And guess what he did? He did not disappoint. Yeah, he did not. It is stated there according to what? To their various capacities per time. And what did he now do to the one that he gave the one that buried it? What did he do? He took it from him. Guy, you don't even deserve this thing. And gave it to the person that multiplied it. So you see that the multiplication, the ability to multiply came from his capacity at that point. This is how life really works. Let me even extend it to say specifically, this is how money works. You can't get money beyond your capacity at that point. It can never happen. If it happens, give it a short time. You will go back to that level. Let me even give a practical example. That is why there's a kind of money that will enter your hand now. Your body will be doing all the things that you don't want to buy. They start coming to your mind. Who knows what I'm talking about? People will be doing like you don't know now. Until there's something called a money ceiling. A money ceiling. Everybody has it. There's an amount that you call now. Your brain will go alarm. Well, not me, not me, not me. That is the truth. There's an amount that you will hear now. You will shut down. You have like 10 billion. Your brain will just be like, I mean, not you guys here. I know you guys' capacity are solid. Your brain just shut down. Do you know why? Your brain cannot comprehend it at that point. See, knowledge, knowing your capacity is the first step to growing. You must know it. This is why people shy away from money conversations. They shy away from these things because you grew up in an environment where they used to talk about money. That's on another level. If I talk about money here, people live here. Jeff, what did you do to me? Right? And so, setting this type of goal now means that you have taken a responsibility upon you. It's not by, oh Lord, oh Father, oh Shabba. Yeah, that one is good. But you must build capacity for that level. You won't be giving if you don't have the level, if you don't have the capacity. Now, for sales, let me bring it home. For sales, what is now the capacity for this level? For me, I knew that all my life, till that point, of course, by around 2018, I think I hit my first million, 2018, I think, June something. You know how you hit your first million is usually the hardest. But after that one, and that is why, these things are just playing out. That is why that is so. After you hit 1 million, it's easier to hit 10. Do you know why? You have built capacity for that million level on the side. So I knew that I hadn't done this. I had never, in fact, prior to that time, I'd never even sold one leg of land. You know how your leg, just prior to the point. I had never even been in conversations where money, that kind of big money passed. I had never been there. So I knew that I needed to build capacity. Thankfully, I understand the concept of marketing. And one of the concepts which we're going to talk about towards the end of this class is the law of averages. No matter how bad you are at a thing, if you do it for 1,000 times within a period of time, you will make a progress within that period. That is also the law of the 21 days thingy. Your brain, the way neuroplasticity, the way your brain works is that if you do something for 21 days, let's stretch it to 30. If you do something for 30 days, there's a chance that it gets easier towards the end of that month. Make sense? Yeah. Same thing with building anything, muscle, gymming, anything at all, right? That's the same thing with making money. I then also realized that, so the law of averages, I mean, you tie it to real estate, states that if 1,000, now this is me that made this part up. Yeah? So you can add my name to the end, Jeff Anuzi. Jeff's framework. If you expose your business to 1,000 people within a space of time, let's give it a month. If 1,000 people see your business, like you expose yours, they know you, they've heard about you and what you do, but within a month, 100 of them, let me say A here because it's awareness, right? 100 of them picked interest. These 100 are people that now send you message. You know how you run ads and somebody clicks and sends you message? Even those malams, I don't even know what you're talking about. If you run ads, you know what I'm saying, right? They send you message, people just call you, this thing I saw, how far? Do you get? So usually 100, according to the law of averages, 100 of them will show interest, 10 will desire it, Okay, so the 10 are the people that will now come for inspections, so people that will send their brothers, uncles, cousins, left sister to come, outlaw, right? So that's the 10. Okay, then within this 10, one we usually buy, take action. It's called the ADA principle. ADA, right? One you usually buy. So this is the law of averages. This law, like no matter how bad you are in business, it always applies. Some people call it the shotgun principle. You shoot, you know how that shotgun works. Shoot, the thing will not spread. One may hit, right? Or you take mud and throw at the wall. Hoping that one sticks. Good. That's all of them join at law of averages. And so I knew that at that point I had a time frame, 3 months. And like I said, I put my back against the wall. I shut down many of my other incomes. In fact, the one that was even paying me the most money, I used to do social media management at the time. I think I've told this story a couple of times. I used to do social media management at the time. The man that was even paying me the most, I told him that by March, you should go and get another person. I mean, again, you don't have to be like me. I can be extreme in when I want to set a goal, so you don't have to be like me. Just do it at your own pace. Should they say capacity part time, Abi? So for me, I had to set my back against the wall because I believe very strongly that your strength shows when your back is against the wall. And so I told him that by March, all of that. I started January. I set a time frame and I decided to do 100 videos in 90 days. Again, we're going to talk about the videos and the strategy, but I'm just trying to share with you my own experience, maybe to help as we go. Make sense? So I decided to do 100 videos in 90 days. And I started that 1st of January and I began to make the videos back to back to back. Well, as providence we have it, because I believe that sales comes from above. By 27th of March, I made my first sale. And that money that came in, propelled the fire, ginger, and we ran the rest of the 3 months. I did not hit 1 million in March. It was in May. Sometime in May, I hit my first 1 million. I think it was a 5 plots for that 4 million. It came like 20 million, something like that. So I had my 2 million cash, And from then, March, I now did a 56 million. And I mean, the rest, they say, is history. You know what I'm talking about? Right. So, but what happened here? Between that January and March, the 200K to 300K, and as much as I was grateful for them, it didn't still feel like where I was heading to. You see the advantage of this? It pushes you. It makes you feel like even when these small things are coming, you don't settle. You don't settle for all those things because you know that you have set a target. And like the people usually, even though I don't really like that statement, it says aim for the moon. Maybe worst case, you land within stars. I feel like most people just be taking the worst case in mind. You get? Yeah, but I mean, it played out. It plays out as well. So that when those worst cases are happening, as much as you're grateful, of course, gratitude helps you bring more into your life, right? As much as you're grateful, you're not settling. The world is settling. And it is magical what it does to your brain when you hit a goal. Your brain automatically goes, aha, I knew we could do it. Now let's go higher. Of course, my next goal was 5 million. It wasn't 2. It was 5. All right? And of course, the rest they say is history. Now, this is the essence of having an FFN. Till now, I know what my FFN is. Right? And have set an FFN for when I hit 50. This is the amount I want to have income daily and monthly as at the age of 50, because this is what will sort my bills and give me the financial freedom to live my dreams at that age. Okay? Now, this is very important because it's the first step to the huge commissions. So you see that it started from me setting a goal, right? So you too set a goal. Then you now have a strategy to back up your goal. Make sense? If you're following online, I'd like to know you're following in the comments section. So now, what's the next thing? Now that we have a goal, we've set a very clear number and figure for commissions. How do we achieve it? I've just said that, okay, fix products. And this is where I'll add here that I feel like most people at this point, they get scattered and anxious. So they start thinking to themselves, okay, I have these products, maybe 2 houses and 3 lands, or 3 estate lands, 2 houses, 3 estate lands. And it's funny how people that have never sold 1 million or 10 million in their life want to sell 100 million at the same time. Anyways, that's on the side. I see some people advertise things 1 billion in Lekki. 20 million you've not sold. You're looking for 1 billion in Lekki. I feel like you just tell yourselves lies happily. Like you're just happy telling yourselves lies. You're just excited. It just tickles your when you're telling yourselves lies. I see that a lot. And I feel like you're either just deceiving yourself deliberately, or you're just testing out your muscle. I don't know. Either one. So again, back to what I was saying. So let's say you have 2 houses, 3 lands at your disposal, and you have figured out that, okay, if I sell at least 1 of this and maybe 3 of this, I hit that my income goal that will give me my FFN, Abi? Good. Most people get distracted along the way. Somebody now calls you, a client now calls you, and now start sending you to Abiyokuta to go and sell his property there. The other one now direct you to Zamfara, and only you want to now do everything. So I see a lot of realtors very scattered. Of course, they're into rent, they're into low income, they're into mid income, they're into luxury apartments, they're doing real estate in the whole of Nigeria, and everything. And at that point, what I see happen or play out is that you spread yourself too thin. So you're everywhere, at the same time, you're nowhere. Because focus is required to achieve stuff like this. You have to be focused and strategic. So what do you do at this point? You narrow down and stay there. The point is, it is not the number of properties at your disposal. It is your ability to convert hello clients to let's do deal clients. Make sense? Yes. It is not in the number of properties. The more properties you know, in my opinion, now this is my opinion, the less detail or good information you have about all of them. I can have 3 properties I'm marketing, and this is in no way trying to say you must stay with one company or no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the properties now. Properties. I can have 3 properties, and I've had so much objections on them that I can literally convert the next 10 no's to yeses. Why? Because I can now answer the objections because they have come. Objections like this place is too far. Objections like, oh, this title documents is not what I want. Objections like, what is the things around here that will make this place appreciate? Objections like, this ceiling is too low. Can't it be higher? You have had enough of them over a period of time that all you need to do, in fact, as the objection is coming, you already have a ready response that conforms with that person's need and desire for that land or house. I hope I didn't lose you here. No. Which leads to the next thing. Now, focus is important. I've just said that your FFN is important, Abi. The amount is important. 1, 2, that now leads to the sales goal, right? And to achieve the sales goal, I believe that is not by being scattered and everywhere, it's by narrowing down. For me, I had 4 properties I was selling at that point, just 4. And anything outside the 4, I built alliances with other people that had strength in those areas. Make sense? So that if a client reached out to me, I won't tell them that, no, I don't do that. I'll simply just say, okay, I have a colleague right, that specializes in this. Of course, before I call you colleague, you and me, the reason I like. Because I've seen that 30% of realtors, let me call them agents, Hamari Ife. I have to say that in vernacular. So before I call you colleague, you have small sense, right? And so I can link up and that will sort it. When the deal is closed, I get commission on the side. So you see that it doesn't distract me. It helps me focus on these ones. Like I said some time ago, I can sell a property multiple times and it will not feel boring. Why? Because you use different strategies in marketing it. Make sense? And so that now leads to the who. So now that you're focused on a few properties, usually I like to say that, I like to add here that use maybe 3 or 4 price ranges, maybe very low, mid, high end, like that. Just 4 or 5 or 3 max per time. It helps. I don't know how to explain this, it helps, but it does help. Okay. And then you now focus on a specific audience. Now, who are the type of audience that buy real estate? We've talked about this several times. Investors, people that buy in large numbers, homeowners, people that want somewhere they can build or pack into. They want to own their home, right? They don't want to be renting. Cash protectors, these are people that understand they are financially intelligent, they understand the time value of money, right? And they want to put their monies so that inflation and devaluation of the naira does not affect their money. Okay. And then the last are who? The aspirants. These are people that live abroad, they traveled out, immigrants, and they are going to come back. And so they want to start building up, assets down here so that whenever they are done, they can have access to either income producing assets or they can sell some for capital gain. Who understands income producing and capital gain? So what is the capital gain there? What's ROI? What is return on investment in selling a property? How do you calculate it? Appreciation value. That's what I was just here looking for. So what is the difference between cost price and selling price? That's capital gain. Is that not it? The capital you put in the project versus the amount you sold it. The amount in between. And let me add here that sometimes years kills the amount. Sir. Sometimes you think you sold something high 3 years later. The value of that money, let me leave it there. Right. So understanding these things, I hope I'm not boring you. I'm not, right? So it's very important we know some of these things. I had to pause on that one so that we'll know it because these are things you use in closing your client. Okay. Now, who are the people that are going to give you these sales? That's the next step. How many steps have I listed now? You're following. First is your commission. What does huge commission mean to you? Right? Which leads to the amount, the target for the amount for sales to hit that huge commissions, right? In my case, it was what? 1 million versus 10 million, Abi? Next thing I said was focus. Don't be scattered. Look for 3 to 4 or even 5. 5 is a good number. Properties that you're going to focus on that can help you achieve these goals. Don't be everywhere. This is very important, right? Next is who is going to give you this money? Who are the people you're going to focus on to get this money, right? That is now narrowing down to your target market. It is important. It's important you have a target market. The reason is because every market has a specific need. And the only way money is made is when a need is met. Is that not true? And so if you're going to be guaranteed and assured of money, it means that you have met what? A need. right? At this point, you now narrow down on your target market and also try and list out what problems you are helping them solve. Nigerians in diaspora, for instance, what problems are you helping them solve? First, you're helping them source properties that meet their need, right? Properties that meet what? Their need. And when I say properties, I want to assume that I'm talking about genuine and maybe profitable or suitable for whatever they want to use it for. And it's okay to turn down a client because you feel you cannot meet his need. Sure, you know that. It's okay to tell a client that, sorry, what I have cannot meet your need. Sure, it's okay. Someone's laughing. Right? It's okay to say that. Except that it's not wise to lose the client. And so you can say things like, okay, being that I don't have what will meet your need, give me so to so time. Let me source for what will meet that need. Make sense? So you don't force people to buy things just because you feel like you have a target. It must meet their needs. And that leads me to the next step. Okay. So again, I was trying to talk about what you're solving, right? You're solving what? You're sourcing safe and profitable properties, right? Next, you're doing what? You're guiding them into what to buy based on their needs, which I just said, and budget, right? Next, you're ensuring they buy right. So now that you have shown them what they should buy, it doesn't stop there when commission is paid. You ensure that they follow, like the steps are followed to do a proper transfer of title to them. Make sense? So you also ensure that they take possession afterwards, which is the physical allocation and all of that. Now, this is why you're being paid. Okay? Now that you know this, how do you then attract these clients? And this is why listing out those needs is important, because it then leads you to creating solutions around them. Right? People are looking at me somehow. Am I confusing you? Making sense? I'm taking my time to explain this because I feel like this is how you draw strategy. This is how you know what to do. Some people feel like when they hear things like, oh, economy is bad, people are not buying real estate, they shut down. Yes, that's what happens. And that's because you don't have a strategy. You don't know what you're doing. You just wake up in the morning and throw that and just random things and hope that these flyers are posted on social media will bring a client. You're just hoping, and hope is not a strategy. Sure, you know. I like Nigerians because we have a lot of hope. That's why we're the most resilient, one of the most resilient people in the world. Rate of suicide is very low in Nigeria. Do you know why? We are very hopeful. But guess the downside of that, our hopefulness. Most of us don't use our brain. And so in the Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, most Nigerians, more than 80%, are in the last rung. Food, shelter, clothing. Finish. I don't want you guys to be most Nigerians. Amen?
Amen.
So, hope is not a strategy. What I'm teaching today, I won't leave it on the internet for too long. Because it's deeper than I'm saying it. It's very deep. I wish I can explain it, how deep and how serious what I'm teaching is, because it's not just in real estate. This thing I'm sharing with you now is what high-level marketing strategists charge millions of USD to share. I'm not kidding. Yeah. Because everybody can implement. Not everybody can strategize. The top CEOs are paid for their strategy, not implementation. The money is in the strategy. What separates me from every other person that started real estate with me when I started is strategy. I'm not stronger or even smarter than everybody. No, I'm not. But I am strategic. And that is why what I'm sharing with you, as you know, the things that help you grow are boring. That's why you can watch Netflix for 10 hours and you cannot read 2 chapters of a book for 1 hour. Because your brain doesn't like stress. Our brain was not built for success. It was built what? Survival. So long as you can breathe, your brain is okay. Your brain is telling you that we are good. That's why many people live in mediocrity, lack, and survival mode. Because that's how your brain is wired. It is now the duty is upon you to rewire your brain. That is why he said, I give you life and blessings. Yeah? Life and death, blessings and curses. Choose. I feel like most people don't read that thing with that chapter with wisdom. So every day of your life, you wake up choosing. And the easier way out is usually the part of what? If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no two ways about it. I pause so that it will sink. Sorry, yo. Hope I'm not stepping on toes. Stepping on feet, I mean, not toes. I'm matching the leg. Now that we know the target market and we know the problems they are each facing, next step is to assume, and this is what differentiates the wheat, let me use a better word, champions and every other person. The champions assume the posture of a solutions provider. Every other person is hustling. Okay? Champions assume what? Position of what? Solutions provider. Why every other person does what? Hustle. And that's why it's not the hardest worker that makes the most money. It's those that provide solutions, prefer solutions to problems that make the most money. Okay? And when I say assume the posture of a solutions provider, I mean genuinely tune your mind to help. Genuinely. Don't do eye service. Oh, let me just look like I'm doing what this man said I should do. No. It will show. Usually your energy will show it. Okay? So, solutions provider. Now, how do you assume the posture of a solutions provider? By listing out all those problems we just said that you're solving, right? And genuinely creating solutions out of them in form of like text or video content. Okay? So when you list out all those things, you try to assume you've known the answers at this point because you're learning, you're growing, you come to trainings like this, you're listening to stuff, you know what the target market is looking for, right? You have solutions to them. You know the process of buying a property. There's a video I saw by Abin Folajomi. Who knows that guy on TikTok? He calls himself real estate egghead. Folajomi is in Lagos, a very smart guy, right? I saw a video of him where he was talking about steps to follow when buying a property in Lagos, Nigeria. Now, that is him assuming what? The posture of a solutions provider. So he's providing solutions, right, to those challenges he knows that his target market is facing. And from his videos, I can tell already that his target market are Nigerians abroad. So his videos are targeted at solving their problems even before they ask him. And guess what that helps you do? It attracts them to you. So this is what we now call inbound marketing. Inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is simply positioning yourself as the person of authority that has the solutions to the problems your target audience are looking for or have, the problems they have. And so you have the solution. You posture yourself as the solutions what? Provider. This is what we say when we say make content, make educational content. So I've taken the time to explain these things, to explain to you. So that when I say things like 80% educational content will bring you more sales than 100% property videos. So you see why I said what I'm teaching is a lot of money, Abby? Because this will bring you money, life. I'm showing you, I'm just handing it over to you. But because it's boring and it doesn't look like the path every other person is taking. So I grew up with the mindset that the road every other what is popular everybody is doing naturally to me does not appeal to me. It doesn't appeal to me normally. Because I have learned. Of course, I grew up. I mean, I got matured on time. I mean, when you start paying your school fees quite early, what will you do? You have to grow, right? And so I realized early enough that path every other person is doing, because I understand that the brain does not like stress. It likes the easy way out. And most people like the easy way out. That's why things like the hamster, whatever, come back. And all those things will thrive. See, more will come out. Do you know why? 80% of Nigerians are like that. And we don't even understand that this is how your brain is wired. It's not wired for success. If you like, pray from today till next year on your knees. It will not work. Why? Because you're not trying to produce the capacity or to build yourself into that person that can attract those things. I don't know why I'm staying here today. Am I speaking to somebody? Yes. Am I touching somebody's life? Yes, in a good way? Yes, most of me after now. Sorry, you guys. Right? So, assume what? The posture of what? Solutions provider. And this is what we call inbound marketing. Also, some people call it value-based marketing. Value-based marketing. So when you see things like this, you should know the trajectory the person is coming from. Please, you can come and sit here. There's a seat here. All right? And then at this point, based on what you're trying to achieve, solutions provider, plus the target market, you can now choose a mode of communication. So you can't just wake up in the morning and say, hey, Jeff, I don't like videos, or Jeff, I don't like text. Jeff, I don't like showing my face. When you say those things, I ask you, what is your strategy? What is your game plan? So you see that your game plan forms the mode of communication as well as the platforms you use in communicating. It's not about what you like or what you don't like. It's about what brings the money, man. What brings the moolah? Do you get it? So you see that it's not about, oh, I don't like TikTok, I don't like Instagram, I don't like this one. And the dumbest thing I hear most people say, sorry to use that word, is that people that have money are not here. They are here. They are not here. They are here. Assumption is the lowest form of knowledge. And whenever you say those things and you're standing on it, I just excuse you. I cannot exchange with you at that point. Because the waste of my time and my intellect. I'm not very smart, but I like money. And anything that can legitimately bring the money morally legitimately, I study it. Because the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, right? And I'm a son of the Lord, right? So it means that I can drive a Lambo, right? You know what I'm talking about? I should fly in a private. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah? And I said last week that you must have a level of what? Vanity to excel in life. Yes, you must have it. You can't be humble and say, oh, no, Benz is not for me. Is the truth of the word, Abi? Go and ask Lazarus where he stayed in heaven. Ouch. Last one I say, take the word, argue. Where did he stay? Even BQ no get. Scotted. I had to add that. Should we go there? Good here? Are we good? Now that we have a strategy, we're building a strategy, right? We're building a strategy. So now that you have assumed the position of what? A solutions provider, and you have a target market, you're trying to solve those solutions, right? Their problems, right? What's the next thing? Next thing is now to choose the platforms you're going to solve that problem, Sabi? And that's what brings me to the SIPA framework, trademark of Jeff Anozie. SIPA framework. What is the SIPA framework? Who knows? Please appreciate that. 1K for you, 1K. Sabi book. That's the SIPA. So in explaining this framework, S here simply means search. I simply means interrupt. P simply means what? Passive. A means what? Active. This is the most intelligent way of interpreting how to market online. And I'm proud that I made it a framework. I have to say it again. I'm so smart. Even smart people call me smart. So this is search, interruption. Let's use passive here, active. Now I'm going to just explain this briefly because I've done a lot of trainings on this before. How do you then choose a platform, or how do you then know the means of communication you're going to attract those audience, right? And position your solution to help them find you. There are two types of buyers online. There are the active buyers and there are the passive buyers. Okay? There are two types of marketing ways to market online. There is search marketing and there's what? Interruption marketing. Search marketing, as the name goes, simply means a marketing strategy where you position yourself to be found when someone is searching. And by the way, if you go search for our Realtors conference, and I see us on the newspaper. Newspaper have carried us. You know what I'm talking about? Say this day, I watch on a Guardian. National newspaper. So you see that we're no more doing in here market. I'm so proud there. Search, interruption, active, passive, right? Search, like I said, simply means a marketing strategy where people search for you, right? And what are the platforms that offer us search? Google. Google is one, YouTube is two, and blogs, which is still under Google. So blogs, podcasts. So blogs, I'll use the general word publishing. Publishing. And I see that most realtors don't take advantage of this. So publishing is divided into vlogs, blog, and podcast. You know what a vlog is, Abi? Video blog. You know what a blog is? You don't know. You don't know, just go and and ask Google. Podcast. You know what a podcast is? Good. Podcast. Now, these are what? Search, Abi. What are the interruption platforms? Facebook, Instagram, IG, Facebook, TikTok, etc. You know these ones. Now, passive. Who is a passive buyer? We're going to put all this together, okay? Who is a passive buyer. Who can explain it with the bread, Roman bread analogy? Passive buyer. Passive and active. Okay. Okay. Who can give me a very clear answer?
Maybe your intention was just to go and buy maybe your children's meals or whatever. So as you entered, you now another thing entered your eyes.
Okay, she tried. Please appreciate her. Example I usually give is Roban bread. How many of you are eating this morning? So you're hungry now, you know? And then who likes Roban bread? Hot one. What's your brand of bread? Oven good. Everybody have the magic oven. Oh, beautiful. We all have our different brands. So imagine that your brand now in your brain. Just imagine it's steaming hot. You know what I'm talking about? The aroma. You know? So if you imagine it now, you now decide to go and buy it. You now decide to go. There's one we eat in this office, have you? This office people like bread. and so you decide to go and buy it, right? It's already in your brain, so you're just going down, and then on your way out, you see Jacinta. Jacinta, you now say, Jacinta, I'm going to buy bread. Jacinta now say, okay, I'm going with you. Let's just go now. I mean, she's very, very lazy and she's not even doing anything. So she now say, let's go together. Sorry, not this Jacinta or guy. But she comes for me. And so two of you now decide to go. Okay? Now, as you enter the place, you, that is the buyer, and the person is called what now? Escorter of the buyer. So let's say it like that. Buyer and what? Escorter of the escort. Okay. No, I don't like that word. Escorter. Let's just use escorter. I think it just sounds nicer. Even though it's wrong English, but I mean. So when you escorted the person, and then so as you are walking into the place, the person goes straight to the counter, picks what he wants, goes to the shelf, right? Picks what he wants, goes to the counter, and submits his card. At that point, he's not even asking how much is this. Do you know why? Because he already knows what he wants. And this thing is going to solve his problem at the time. I mean, that's the solution to that his problem. And he already knows that he wants this thing. It's not even negotiable. And then when you get to the counter, the aroma now enters this escorter. So escorter's nose. And the escorter now says, this is the aroma is really nice. So let me go and it goes to the counter, picks the shelf, picks another one, and then comes to the counter and then sees the price and say, first, you know, so maybe his money is not up to. I doesn't have to tell you that pay for me. Maybe he just notes it, mental notes. Okay, I've known the price and I know where it is now. Maybe I'll go and Kwadola and come back, right? You just swipe your card, you don't even check the alert because you already know what it is. And then carry your trolley with one bread and you go out. Abi? At that point, now that's a very good analogy to explain this. Who is the active buyer? Who is the passive buyer? It's active. The other person is what? The escorter is passive. Now note that the escorter, why are we even using this word? Note that this person that did not buy today does not necessarily mean he may not buy at all. Right? That's why it's classified as what? A passive, right? So we haven't explained all of this. Let's now put it all together. Now, for somebody that is active and is searching, you know what search is? You have something in your mind. You just go and look for it straight. You're not wandering around, strolling or something. No, you just go straight, just like that guy. You went straight to go and buy, right? So let's call this person what? Let's call this B. So let's start from here. Passive and search, let's call it A. No, let's use numbers. Let's use numbers because there's already A here. So let's say 1 here, right? At this quadrant. This other quadrant, let's use 2. Here, let's use 3. And here, let's use 4. Now, a blend of, and I'm going somewhere with this, a blend of a passive buyer and someone that is searching is called one, right? One. Abi? Number two, a blend of a search and active. So you can say PS, SA, right? You can do Abi, South Africa. You can do AI, right? So 3, and you can do what? IP. This is 4. Amongst these 4, who do you think is the person that is most ready to buy right now? Active, right? So this is first. This is first. Abi? Who is next from your understanding of this thing? One, Abi? Searching and passive. Do you think so? Who has an alternative answer? 3. Why? He's active. This active, does active rate higher than search? Yes, it does. So number 2 is what? Active and interruption. You can be searching and not have money. You know that, Abi? Yeah. You're looking for something. It's called what in English? Window. Sheshe. Adero. But you're what? And I encourage it. You can go to a car shop. Just dress very well, Sha. Yeah, they'll pursue you. If you've never entered a brand new car before, I give you permission today. Go in the mind. Just go and look for a brand new car shop. Walk inside and say, please, I want to see this car, sir. They're not going to ask you that. No, they're not going to ask you that. They won't ask you that. Just walk into the car, enter the car, and feel the car. You know? What are you doing? Window shopping. In a search. So what's the next one here now? Active and right? So this is next and then this is last. Now, why did I go through all of this explanation? And by the way, I explained a lot more in Realtor School. We have a full episode of this. So in case you want to feel it in its depth, I explained it very well in Realtor School. Now, why did I go through all of this? To give you an idea. So you're strategic in picking a platform and understanding what you're doing online. We have listed search platforms, Abi. We have listed interruption platforms. And we say that the person that is willing to buy, like now, is what? Is someone that is active and searching. Abi? He can pay now. Abi? And we say the next one is the guy that is active interruption, right? The third is the passive and searching. And then the last is the interrupted and passive. What this literally means is that this guy here, he has the money and he's looking for. Makes sense? Whatever it is he's looking for, he's looking. Sha. So this guy number 1. This other one, he has the money, but he may not know where to find it. And so while he's scrolling the internet one day, remember it's interrupt. So maybe he's on Instagram or Facebook. These are interruption platforms, right? From our explanation. And then he stumbles on it. What does he do? He clicks. Say, aha, so this thing, he clicks on it. And then he reaches out to you. Right? So that is number 2. Number 3 is what? It's passive and searching. Abi? Window. Maybe he wants to have an idea so that he will go and prepare himself and start saving money, or understand, okay, this is how much it will cost later. Okay, let me start arranging myself. He saves your number when he reaches out to you. He'll save it and tell you that, okay, I'll be back, right? I've had a client that told me I will be back for over 1 year, 1 year plus, and he eventually But, right? So this is number 3. And the last one is what? Interruption and passive. Now, this guy is strolling. He's not even looking for anything. And shishi, adero. Do you get? He's just strolling and he doesn't have the money. And these are the kind of people that you will now be choking your whole mind and soul and body on top and be wondering why they're not buying. So I get a lot of questions like, sir, when somebody asks me about a product or a land, how do I make the person buy? And have you classified the person under any of these? Like, have you asked the right questions? And that's what brings us to the next point of this. This is how to identify a raw client. Ready, able, and willing. Ready is what? He knows what he wants. Able is what? He can afford it. Willing is what? He wants it today. This is how you identify one. Question, Jeff, how do I then know who is who? It's by the questions you ask when they contact you. The answer is in the questions. The answer is where? In the questions. And what are the 4 types of questions you ask? Let's just narrow it down to 4 as we wrap up today. I have more to teach you. Mana. We've gotten all of this, Abi. What are the four types of questions to ask? The 4 types of questions to ask. Number 1 is need. Need. Number 2 is what? Budget. Number 3 is what? Authority to make decision. So let's say decision. And number 4 is what? This is like a framework, like a guide. This is like a guide. Okay? Now that you have positioned yourself right, you have postured as a solutions provider, you've created content that attracts the right buyers, the specific buyers you want, and then they reach out to you. How do you, knowing what you know about the classes of buyers like that, search interruption, all those people, how do you then know the raw buyers? How do you know? It's by these questions you ask. The truth is you can't be 100% sure. However, you can intelligently find out to a large extent. Need. Client calls you and he says, oh, I want a property in Ogun State, for instance. Sir, okay. If he's not specific about a property, if you don't mind me asking, what do you need it for? Do you need it to save? You want to invest in a property, or you want a property where you can build right now? Or are you looking for a house? Or he may say a land. He may just be specific. I want a land in Ogun State, for instance. And then you ask for the need. What do you need it for? It's important you ask that, because when you start asking the right questions, you take the position of the consultant. Call yourself a consultant, Abi. You take position of what? Consultant. Remember, somewhere at the back of your mind, you want to classify this client to understand if he's raw. Make sense?
Yes, right.
Need. He will tell you. At that point, you know that the client is searching because he has an answer. He has a need. So based on that need he has, he's looking for a solution to that need. Make sense? Need. When he answers you, next, budget. Because most times, from my experience, client does not know the value of or the weight of the solution to that need. He may not know the value of a property within that environment. Do you get? And it's not wrong by not knowing. And it's your duty to align him right. I've seen clients that will say, buy and build 20 million in Enugu, end up buying a 70 million naira land. Because they did not know. They assumed that this budget will suit. Then when you, as the professional, as the consultant, guide them right. You see, I said that one of the problems you're solving is what? To guide. Abi? So his budget, you now consult by telling him that, sir, this budget you have can or cannot solve this problem. Then you profile solutions at that point. Now say, sir, so if you want this need to be solved, this is how much you're looking at. You see, this is how your conversation is going. Is it making sense? Next is what? His decision. So I like to find out if you're the person buying or somebody sent you. I'll not ask you like that too. I'll give an ego. Are you an errand boy? Or your in-law wants to buy, your in-law said I should look for, because the way you treat this person is different from the way you treat the person buying. Most times, from my experience. Okay? So decision to buy. I like to talk to the person making decision immediately, straight up. So another thing I learned over time was they tell you things like their wife, they need to talk to their wife. Most people will tell you that. And I say, sir, when do you think I can call back so that I can speak to you and your wife at the same time? Because you may not be able to communicate properly to your wife. I won't tell you that, but I know that. I'm the authority here, not you. So can you set up a meeting? Can I do a three-way call if possible? If your wife is not, I've had that with a client. I wanted to buy a property somewhere. His wife lives in London. He lives in the US. Say, okay, this evening you communicate with the wife because their time zones are different. I told him that don't bother. Like, I can call. What time can I call so I can speak to two of you at the same time? So he said, okay, when he's speaking to the wife, he will let me know. So I now called him. He now joined the call with the wife, and we now spoke. Right? Decision. Most times we talk to the wrong decision maker. And because you're speaking to the person that cannot take decision, you feel like you've done a lot of work and the thing is not working. Okay? So usually ask. Some clients will lie to you. We've had such experience before. They say they are the ones making the decision. At that point, you can't really help it. You're not a winch. Even if you are. Right? But most of them will tell you the truth, right? The next is money. So, sir, if I get you right, Roy taught on communication the last time. You reiterate what the client has told you. And that's why active listening is very important. One of the skills you must learn as a realtor is the skill of active listening. You need to actively listen because in the answers or the answers the person is telling you lies the solution. He literally is telling you how to close him. You know what I mean by close? Mola. That's what he's telling you. So at that point, you're listening actively. And right here, you reiterate. So if I get you right, you're looking for a property within this place that you want to use for this. This is the budget you have. And like you rightly said, you need it as soon as possible. Can I ask a question? If I'm able to present to you by tomorrow evening these things you need, how soon can you pay? Many people are afraid to ask that question. You need to know if this person is ready. That's how you get to know that he's raw. And tell, like the guy that we did yesterday, he said the money is ready. If he just sees this thing, he will pay. Guy, what again? At that point, you see that the brain is now different. You're seeing the money, and it's just you and. So at that point, you see that this guy is serious. He's raw. He's ready, he's able, and he's willing to buy. You see? So these are the type of course, it may not always be as straight as I just said, but this will guide you as you do it. And that's why that law of averages is very powerful. You will lose some, that's the truth. You will flop some, that's the truth. Yes, you will. But the truth is that you don't fail when you flop, especially if you're doing it strategically, you're doing it with sense, just like I'm explaining now. You don't fail. What you do is you just build a muscle. He asks you a new question and you did not know it before, or you don't know how to answer it. Now you know it. So you've added it to your arsenal. And so that next time, you definitely know what to answer. The questions, no, they pass the same. See, when clients call you, usually almost the same questions. The problem is that you don't receive call enough. No, you guys know. They don't receive call enough to answer the questions. If you receive call enough, you're going to be able to answer those questions. See what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm dropping?
Right.
Am I making a lot of sense? Yes. Oh, I know I am. You know? Right. So at this point, you can clearly say with so much confidence that you have done your part by sifting out. And again, if a client is not ready, again, does not mean that he will not buy today. I've said that before, right? And the way you intelligently ask this question shows the client that you know your game intelligently. You're not asking, you're not first telling him, him and our agency will 5%. That's like the first thing you start saying. Most people do that. Him and Ifabo, we know. That's why I said, assume the posture of what? A solutions provider, and do it genuinely, like you genuinely want to help. When you genuinely want to help, clients will be very happy to pay you your money. Why? Because you have guided him right as what you propose to do. Now that all this have happened, as we wrap up, next is when the client now comes for inspection. I mean, client now, send either his client representative or come by himself, for inspection. What are the things that must be in place? We're talking about how to make multiple sales, even in a bad economy. And I believe very strongly that the problem most people have is strategy. We established some points earlier on. People buy land irrespective. That economy is bad does not mean that some people are not smiling to the bank. Someone bought a 45 million naira property yesterday. Do you get? Economy is bad, then they buy land. My colleague closed a 250 million in Guzape, Abuja. Yes. Economy is bad. Who is buying? Is it who are those buying those things? Economy is bad. People, they gift people Rolls Royce. Do you get? So instead of fighting it or trying to feel like, oh, they stole the money, oh, try to position, like reposition your mind to understand that, see, that there's no such thing as the economy. It is your economy, my economy, her economy. There's no such thing as the economy. You know that, right? There's no such thing as the economy. That's a story for another day. Right? So we're trying to, draw out a strategy. And that's what we've been doing since morning, right? Strategy that it works all the time. It works all the time, right? On how to make sales irrespective of the economy. Okay? So now that this thing has been done, there's an analogy that comes to my head. I remember when I was much younger, there's a cat. I mean, how many of you watch Tom and Jerry? Gen Z's will not even know what I was saying. Yeah? He says he like. Are you Gen Z? Sorry, I'm asking. Okay, that's why she's displaying herself. Wizzy don't know what. Sorry, Wizzy. Wizzy, I hate you. There was one episode I watched then, and it came to my mind while I was thinking around this morning, where one fisherman was fishing. I think it's Jerry or Tom, I don't know the person. Now they're cutting the basket. So when he fish, put it in the basket. fish put in the basket. And then they were cutting the back and they were taking the fish. So anyone he drops, they'll take it. Anyone he drops, they'll take it, you know. At the end of the day, he was done, happy. And you know, he was not looking at it. I don't know how cartoons think. Why can't you look? It's good, it's Tom. Tom was fishing. Jerry was taking. Exactly. That's it. That's it. and then when he was done, you know, happy now, the sun, I know the sun was just be going down fast. Sun now came down, you know. I was going nothing was inside. And I mean, a lesson came to my head there that what if many realtors or people selling actually fishing right, but the basket is broken? This way is a rema. Basket is broken. And so you've done all the marketing right, you know, brought clients to you, they called you, contacted you, your inbox is full with messages, but the conversion is the problem, right? So the basket is broken at that point. So what do you do? And I think it starts from inspection. Let's say when you meet, or first starts from that communication, which we have discussed here. It starts from there, I think, because when you are positioned as a person of value, client perceives it. Client knows when you want to help genuinely. It shows. And the fact that you are genuinely trying to help does not mean you're not going to make money. And that's the difference between agents that collect only inspection fees and those that close multi-million naira in deals. Most of them, all their value is that inspection fee. That's all. And so it shows in the way they handle the client. I remember clearly in 2016, I was trying to get a house. And out of all the people, I've told the story before, out of all the people that, you know, helped us then, there's this particular guy, his name is Nii, he's currently in Port Harcourt. Nii helped us. And you can see that Nii was, of course, he charged us his bill, no problem. But you can see that Nii was genuinely out to help. So much so that Nii made sure that we got our stuff and the house we needed, and he was satisfied before he even asked us for a dime. And I was happy to pay him. And I referred, in fact, anybody that say how, I referred the guy. Anybody that say how, and you could see that he was growing, literally. He changed his car, you know, grew. He now went into construction, he's currently in Port Harcourt, right? And you notice that there's a certain kind of, you know, agents that just remain there. Year in, year out, they're like that. Meanwhile, there are others that come into the market, and before you know what's happening, things start moving. What's the difference? The difference to me is that one assumes the position of the solutions provider, the other does not. So now that you have, you know, had this conversation and the client has come to see the property, what next? I believe that the first thing is dress like it, look it. I mean, this is cliche, this is normal talk, right? Look the part. What most people don't understand about dressing very well is that it boosts your confidence automatically. The dresses you wear, you're not proud of yourself. Even yourself, you tell yourself, that guy, we're not proud of ourselves. And you know it because your spirit will tell you. Yes, your confidence drops automatically. So do yourself the favor by looking good. Right? Look the part, look like a professional. I think that's the first thing. Next thing, obviously, smell good. Yeah? Yeah? You know what I'm talking about? See, add it tom self, because sometimes if you don't eat, you know, sometimes if you don't eat or put anything in your mouth, there's a chance, you know? Eh? How many of you are dental people here? There's a chance that some bacteria that they say is good will react. And then you're telling the client, and the client cannot say anything because he's holding his breath. The then client something, the client is supposed to answer. The guy now, I believe strongly that at that point the client is even telling himself that boom. You know, that part. Number 3, which I believe is most important ingredient that you're going to wear, is wear a good spirit. no matter how you felt that morning, don't show it to the client. See, everybody is selfish, whether you like it or not, even you. How do I know? Of course, I was watching Sales Guru this morning, and he said something like that just made sense. So when you went to the market to buy your shirt, were you thinking of me? Who were you thinking of when you bought the shirt? So can you see that you were selfish when you were buying? Do you see? And that's how people buy everything, even real estate. They think about themselves. It's not you they're thinking about. So you now come to client and now carry all your village problem and be telling the client. To you, client should pity me and buy. Eh? But you don't know that he that has not, the one he has, is taken from him and given to the person that has. So it is useless telling me that you don't have. Make sense? Don't come with pity. Sir, buying us now, we can see food chop. Ha! Ha! To you, you're appealing to the conscience of the buyer. But you don't know that people don't buy because of your need. They're not buying because of your need. No, they are buying because of their need. And the best way to tap into their need is to align with them. And that's why you asked these questions. So nothing concerns the client with your bad morning. So wear a good spirit. A good spirit is contagious. That is why when I come to you now and I start smiling, can you see that he just smiled? Even her smiled. Do you see that? That is how it is. So when I come to a client, hello sir, good morning, good to see you. I mean, don't be a psycho. Don't do it too much, I beg you. Clients will be like, what's going on here? You know? Good morning, sir. It's good to see you. Family. You know, don't do you look right. So family, hello sir, good morning, it's good to see you. With a smile. Remember that you already smell good, and you know, there's, you know, everything there is good, you know. So all that together sincerely uplift the client's spirit, even if he had a problem that morning. I'm teaching the spiritual side of sales. People buy from people they what? They know, like, and trust. Likeness has been established at that point. So I'm taking my time to say this because sometimes you do these things right behind the scene. And then when you now appear, everything is now wrong. So all the efforts, you remember the leaking basket? All the effort now goes to waste. And of course, in the Realtors, we talk about inspection dynamics, what to do, what to say during inspections. You don't talk amiss. You don't talk anyhow. You don't argue with clients. You don't talk more than the client. Please restrain the urge to talk too much. You talk yourself out of the sale. Do more of listening, and you can simply, in case you feel like the place is boring, you want to say something, just talk in line with what people are trying to do. Sir, these are developments around here. Do you know this place? This place is called this. This other place is called that. And how do you know this if you don't visit the locations you are selling before having clients? Most people don't visit locations they are selling, and they carry client and be going there. If client is not telling you the thing, client not telling you that this place is this, so you not be like, Can you see how funny it sounds? As funny as it sounds, that's the reality of most realtors. Client not telling you the place. They're not directing you. It's kind of taking you for inspection now. And I'll be like, and at the end of the day, how do you expect to close that client? Okay, so why does he need you? Right? So your duty part time, and that's why I don't understand people that sell places that they don't know. I sincerely don't understand it. Because how else will you know? Even if you go on the map and go and check, will you really know? So you see where I come from when I say I don't understand when you sell something you've not seen. Real estate especially. Some people say it works for them. I mean, I'm yet to see someone that will teach me. I've asked many people to teach me how you do it. Do you teleport? How do you do it? That's the point I'm asking. There's a difference between fluke, doing a fluke business, and actually running a business. Running a business means you have predictable income, Abi? So there's a formula you're using that predictably brings you income. Meanwhile, the one-off, that one is a fluke. It happens one or twice, and you don't know, you can't even trace. Like, many people that have sold like me cannot really teach you what I'm teaching you. You know that, right? Because there's no system to it. It just happened. Maybe one big break from somewhere. Their uncle's dad's clients left sister, but do you get? And so that happened once. They can't predict, they can't replicate it. But I'm teaching you something that is very replicatable because it is a strategy. The principle is value precedes money. Simple. Right? Value precedes money. And you can't give value to someone that you've not seen, or sorry, that has not seen you or has not come in contact with you, virtually or physically. Right? So you have to position yourself to be seen, to give value. And when you give value, money is a byproduct of what? Value. Make sense? This is the principle of life. You see that, right? And so inspection. So like I said, we won't go into inspections today, so I can take your questions and then we can wrap up from there. So the next thing is inspection, like I said. So inspection dynamics, dress smartly, wear a joyful countenance, smell good, posture right. Follow up is the last part. I think we may take follow up another day, maybe follow up and closing. I hope there'll be another opportunity to do that so that I don't stretch this too long. So basically, I want to believe that in the last 1 hour, 50 minutes, I've been able to show you a strategy to build a sales machine. What I just gave you is an income producing machine. If you follow the principles, I'm almost guaranteed that you're going to replicate good results. The last part of this, which I'll just use this to round up, is just remind you of something called the emotional circle of change. I like to end with this because most times we implement things in our lives and we don't understand that capacity is built over time. You grow into that level. And so you get to a point that, like I said, your brain is not built for success. So trying to do something that will bring success is boring normally because you're not used to it, number one. Number two, your brain is not seeing it like, it's seeing it like stress. Okay? And so there's a tendency to give up, right? The emotional cycle of change, in a summary, this is the optimistic level and this is pessimism. When you start out trying to implement some things or trying to achieve that goal, remember that goal? What was your FFN? How many of you have it in your head? When I say FFN, just imagine the figure, right? Yeah, are you imagining it? Good. So remember your FFN, Abi? Remember that is a value, is an amount that you maybe have not done before. Remember, right? And so you have to grow into it, right? When you start out on that journey, you start with something called unlearned optimism. That's how you start. You're excited about it. Like you live here now. This thing Jeff said makes sense or makes sense. You know, you want to jump into it already, right? When you jump in, after a very short time, you quickly realize that you start struggling with keeping up to it. That's a fact. We are procrastinators by birth. Said the person that said, let's do it tomorrow, right? So things start coming in the way, and then things happen. Like too many things are going to take your time as soon as you leave here now. That's why I like to say also write out an action plan, things you start doing today. Okay, because all these things I've said, that's why I don't want to add more, so that you can at least implement the ones I've taught right now. And so you realize after usually after a month, 30 days, that this thing is hard. Right? And then you hit a point called learned pessimism. Learned pessimism. What happened at that point is that you start doubting many things. Are you sure this thing works for me? Are you sure this thing Jeff is teaching works for everybody? Maybe if I create videos do not work for me. Like I hear many people work. Videos don't work for me. Oh. The point is that you don't like yourself in the video. Yeah. And that's because you've not done videos enough. Do you know the first time you hear yourself from a microphone, you will doubt if it's your voice. Your voice will be somehow. Just like when you make a video for the first time or first few times, you won't like it. That one, I can guarantee you, I'm a prophet. You're not going to like it. But that is where consistency comes in. Remember the law of averages? Remember the law of averages? No matter how bad you are at something, if you keep at it for a period of time, it clicks. Nature has a way of just breaking even. It's guaranteed. But the problem is this, emotional cycle of change. So at this point, you start doubting many things. The village people and the people that will now come around you and now start telling you that, I told this thing will not work, all these things. You think in this economy, people buy real estate in this economy. Yeah? They start telling you. If you notice, people that tell you those things are people that have never achieved that goal you want to achieve. If someone that's achieved it, he already knows that there's something called this emotional cycle of change. You grow into it. They know. But those that have never achieved it, sincerely, most of them come from a place of love. They don't want to see you hurt. They feel like it's going to break your heart if you don't hit it. Do you get? Those people are your village people, even if it's your husband. He's your village person. He's sitting on the can. I mean, no offense. So at this point, next stage, it doesn't get easier. No, it doesn't. You then hit the rock bottom called the valley of despair. That's where you now hit next. Valley of despair. Despair. It's called the valley of despair because this is where a lot of people give up. Things don't get easier at that point, right? So even if you keep pushing, you say, okay, let me add another 10 days. After 10 days now, you go to prayer and say, God, I give you 10 days to prove that you are God. I mean, those things are not bad. It's not bad to do that. Like I said, I put my back against the wall a lot and I give myself a period of time. But it's also important to understand how the human brain works or how these things work. Okay? And so when you get to the valley of despair, this is where a lot of people give up. I know this very well because I did it 9 times. I did nine businesses that failed. So I'm a veteran. I have the rank. Oh, yes. Oh, I bear the mark. My back has a lot of scars. So I know it. I've done, name it, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, digital marketing. You know already. He knew in my previous life, many things. Really, I sold insurance in this Enugu. Okwema. I tracked New Heaven very well. And they fired me because I wasn't making sales. Oh, yes. They fired me on 31st October 2016. That's sacrum. So I know. I know because I've been there. Right? So most people give up here and go and look for a new vehicle, a new thing to do. Usually okreka. You're gonna start selling another thing, hair, makeup, they now leave real estate and say, this one is not for me. Now, the problem here is that every other thing you're going to start, you're still going to go through this circle. How do I know? I know because there's no industry you want to tell me now that doesn't have people that are successful in it. Is that not true? Every industry has people that are successful. Is that not true? There are people selling okrika and making a lot of money. There are people selling oporoko and selling and making a lot of money. There are people doing hair and making a lot of money. So if the industry is not the problem, who then is? You see that? You see that you're the variable here. And that's what I'm trying to explain. And so if you understand this, whenever you hit the value of despair, you understand that it is just a process. You are building a muscle. It doesn't happen overnight. This time it takes him to build the muscle may be different from when it to take you to build the muscle. Do you know why? Because there are some background factors, knowledge, understanding that he may have that you may not have. You understand? So comparing yourself with the person that started the same time with you and saying, oh, see this guy now, he has done it, meanwhile, started the same time, is you being as ignorant as the word ignorance can be. Two people cannot be the same because you're coming with, I don't know how old you are, let's say 28 years of experience from something, a background. Someone like me, you can't compare a starter that just understood how to do social media marketing today with me. I did social media marketing for a period. So when I came into real estate, I only need to add the experiences, both good and bad, that I had there to real estate. Do you see? And that's why I can teach social media with, I can teach the spirit and soul without telling you Facebook and Instagram. Do you get? I won't come and be telling you Facebook is better than Instagram because I understand some things that many people don't know. Do you see? So you see that for me, there's already a background and I built it from a place of hitting value of despair several times. And if you understand this and give yourself time to grow, learn. So all you need here in value of despair is to understand that, okay, there are some things I don't know. For most people, it is how to attract enough prospects. That is it. And that's why I teach all the time that if you just focus on lead generation strategies, you're going to make money. Just give it a period of time. Because the law of averages will play. The more people that you can expose yourself and your business to, the higher your chances of closing a sale on time. That's it. And so if you understand here that, so the problem is not that people are not buying. The problem is that I'm not visible enough. Then you start learning visibility strategies. You start understanding the difference between search and interruption marketing and how you can take advantage of it. The problem is that usually the strategies that can give you visibility are harder and they are not conventional. They're not posted on Facebook and Instagram. They're not, especially in real estate. Let me give you an example as I take your questions at this point. Most people run ads. The way I see most people run ads, especially for real estate, newbies that have like 3 followers and 10 likes on their page. Just open page today. They'll carry flyer of land or house and run it straight to a WhatsApp account. Most times the picture has no face. Maybe it's one logo. And then the name there is maybe Egghead of Real Estate. There's no specific name there. And then you put 10K behind the ads for a week and sit back, relax, and to you're marketing. Most times you then realize that you get a lot of people come to your inbox and not buy. They just ask you questions. Some people even hit that WhatsApp unintentionally. And you know the thing comes with, I want to know more about this. That's the default customized message. And then you see it in your inbox and you think that you've gotten a lead. You see? But you don't know that you're supposed to first assume the position of a solutions provider. And when they land on your page, they should see other proof of work, of what you're doing. You don't just open a page and, let's talk about that in another class. Marketing. So at this point, you learn. The word here is you learn. It is not the vehicle, it is not the opportunity, it is you. You don't know what to do at that point. And so you assume that it's not working. All right. And then as you learn, you then go up to a point now called unlearned pessimism. At this point, it's still, of course, you've not hit any success yet per se. But now that you're learning, you start seeing small results. Even you that is learning, you start feeling better, because you now feel like, okay, the more you learn, the more you understand that, okay, there are things I did not know that I ought to have known. All right. And even when you now see people making those mistakes, it just makes you feel like, okay, thank God for knowledge, because knowledge, you don't know till you start knowing. Then you now see that there's a lot that you did not know that you thought you knew. All right. And then give it time. Just within a period of time, you then hit your goal. Usually just a matter of time. So what happened between here and here is that capacity building. That's it. So I'll end it here today so that I don't get you oversaturated. Jeff likes to share knowledge. I feel like if everybody around me knows, the world will be a better place. So I hope I earned the value of your time. Did I earn the value of your 2 hours? Did you pick up everything I dropped? So do we have action plans? How many of you have drafted action plans? I mean, you need to go through this again, Abby. So the replay will be in the comment section of this video on YouTube, or the link to the YouTube will be in the comment section. You can just go there and go and watch it, because this video will be on YouTube and it's not going to be there for too long. I've said that before, Abby. It's not going to be there for too long. So you have to watch it as fast as possible, so that you can absorb it. And then as you watch it, maybe tonight, tomorrow morning, draft out your action plans. So take a piece of paper. If you're like me and like, yes, visual stuff, draft out a plan. Okay, we're going to do this first. This is where it starts from. Then we'll do this next. Then we'll do this next. Like that. Don't just write notes. Most times you don't go back to your notes. But if you draft an action plan and say, I'll do this today, this is my time frame, I'll do this, tomorrow I'll do this. First thing you need to do is what? Have an FFN. That's the first. I think that's where everything starts from. Have that. If you have that, then you can now be motivated enough to follow through on other things. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to just leave the information for this in the comment section. Yeah.
For instance, we are choosing a search engine like YouTube, we are using, and then we posted the video. Say you have like 4 properties you want to sell. So maybe you have posted the 4 properties or that. How do you continue to
Used to be selling for this. Now the perimeter fencing is up. It's now selling for this. What you get? We started marketing this few days ago. Remember, it is talk about the features. It is 5 minutes away from this. It's 10 minutes from this. It's going to have this. Tomorrow again, take your client there. 3 reasons why you should key into this place. Number 1, fast appreciation. Number 2, capital gain. Number 3, it is a fast developing environment. Do you get? If you need more information about this, call the numbers on your screen. If you want me to bring for inspection, not 8 knots. So like I said earlier, to sell one property continuously, you're not being boring. You're just not creative enough. Do you get? And the law of focus. When you focus on one thing for a long time, it breaks. Yeah. I remember when we wanted to sell a property that was not selling for 2 years, 2022. When we started selling it, we started in July, 9th of July. By August ending, we had sold 25 plots from a property that sold just 2 plots in 2 years. And that was the only thing we're promoting that period. Focus. So when you go, and that's why it's good to go for inspections, visit property. You know, as realtor, one of your activities, income producing activities, visiting a property you're selling, with or without somebody carrying you there. One of your duties is to visit the property you're selling as often as possible. Sometimes when you go, you now see that 3 plots to the land, they're doing a borehole, or they've erected something that is content automatically. Last week, this wasn't here, this week is here. And you know what happens when development happens in a place, appreciation happens. Or today now they are doing road. Boom, content. You get? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I have a question concerning the what question asked you about.
Mm.
Because the point of my ask you, where am I from? And I said I'm from Anambra State because I was telling you something like where am I from? I said I'm from Anambra State. And now like I'm from Anambra State.
In Enugu.
So how do you know foundation of the land? You get
How do you know what?
the foundation of the land.
What does foundation mean to you? I don't understand what foundation means.
That's the question he asked.
Okay, that's the question he was asking you.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the question. He asked me what's the foundation. How do I know the foundation of the land?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm now like the one I gave him, but I wasn't so confident with. That's why I'm asking you to know the correct answer. So I now told him I know the foundation of the land because I went to Realtor School, and most of those things have been taught us in Realtor, whatever. That's how I just did it to get out of the message.
Yeah, you try by trying to answer something, but
Yeah.
foundation to me means the origin of the land.
Yes, and
So a root title.
yes.
So that's why your duty as a realtor is to understand these things before the need occurs. So before I sell a property, for me,
Okay.
I go to the developer, the owner of the land. I'm the one selling, of course. I go to myself, and ask for the root title of the land. It's your duty to ask. Good. That's the original document or lack of that was used to acquire the land. What gives the person authority to sell the land? That's the root title. I mean, authority could be a second title. Root title is the first. That's the one he's asking you. What's the origin of the land? So the land happened from this. This person, for instance, went to this community and acquired the property. Community had customary right of occupancy, right? And so they sold to this man with an irrevocable power of attorney, for instance. So with that irrevocable power of attorney, he sold to him using another irrevocable power of attorney. There's a history. He started from here, he went to here. In this man's document from the community, carries all the people, usually a committee, in somewhere like Enugu, they have a committee. They call them the land committee, or they call them power of attorney committee in some places. So usually for me, I prefer that everybody in that committee must sign behind it. That's why sometimes when you see our documents, like plenty signatures at the back. So they sign. After they sign, they hand over to this person. This person is trying to sell, he hands over to this. In the history of the land, where they call a recital. You know what a recital is? Usually in a deed of assignment. It shows the history of the land in the recital. The recital shows from the original people that bought it up until the person trying to sell. And every link in between must be there. Do you get? So you see all of that before you start marketing a property, so that you are sure that this person has authority to sell this property. So that's your duty as a realtor. So when client starts asking you that question, you can give this kind of history. Now say this land was acquired by so and so company. You may not know or you may not memorize all the names of the company, but you've seen it. So you're confident when you're saying it that this land was acquired by so person gave to this person, and then this person is the third person buying it. Then you add there that is even in the root title of the land. You get? That's how you explain that kind of thing. So at that point, the client already knows that this person has done their homework. You're not trying to prove you too know to the client. Try and avoid that. Someone like me, I can do that and be like, I know this thing, right? But just try and avoid it. Your duty is just to show that you have done your homework. And that's your duty as a realtor. Sorry. I hope I answered you. Did I answer you? Yeah, another question. Sorry.
Concerning seeing the
Root title. Okay, the property.
Company like have a special day realtors go to just see the company.
Yeah, so there's a
like
WhatsApp
that.
group in the link in the comment section of this video, or you can meet her afterwards.
All right.
She would add you to the group. We visit our properties from time to time.
All right, thank you.
Oh, yeah. He was asking me.
Just a follow-up to what you were explaining to her. Now, okay, thank you. Now, what happens in a case where some real estate companies don't really want to review? Sometimes they find it difficult because as a realtor, you want to be sure of what you're selling. You approach whether the manager or anybody, to explain to you the title of the land. Because sometimes you find some, being not forthcoming.
Yeah.
They are either probably, that's my assumption. Maybe there's a problem somewhere,
Confidential.
and it's going to limit their marketing of the property or whatever. So they don't really come so soon. Or if I should use the word, many of the real estate companies. So what happened? How do you find out?
Okay, so it's two things here. First, I don't think any properties they do or die. This is my opinion. Number one. Number two, many realtors don't understand that the developers need you as much as you need them. You know that, right? The major ingredient in real estate business is marketing. You can have plenty land somewhere, you're not selling it, you're not in business. You know that, right? Then number three, it's your right as a marketer to see it. So most of them will not give you, like print it and give you or send to you via WhatsApp for obvious reasons. People use it for scam and many things. That is very understandable. But me, I demand to come see it. I must cite it before I market it. I must cite it. People that understand this business very well, they send it to me self. They'll send me the root title, starting from even when they said hello to the community till the time they sign the deal. They send everything to me. I will never sell a property I've not seen the root title. Never. This is me. So you can decide yours. And again, sorry, most times we assume that they are doing us a favor by allowing us sell their property. No, they are not. They are not doing you a favor, except you don't know what you're doing. Do you get? The developer needs you as much as you need him. Do you see? So as much as I want to see this, I have to see it. Except that, like you said rightly, except there's a problem. If there's a problem, then why are you still insisting on seeing it? Walk away now. What's the law? Any other question? Sorry, have you finished asking?
I'm also thinking maybe it's just because you as a person you are now an authority and you're well known in that. Maybe I'm also thinking that probably there could be a time when you grow into that when you walk straight, into the CEO and he has understood, your value and you make such demand because of the person you want, what you're going to bring. Maybe he just allows you to see.
So that. I feel like you. It's just the way I feel like it's the way you even put yourself. If you put yourself as a person of authority, except you don't know what you're doing. Like if you come to him now and he size you finish and you don't look like even confident of what you're saying. You don't even know what you're asking for. You get, like I've seen some title documents that don't have history. It's always like, now this person is selling to this person. How? Where did this start from? By the time I finish asking you questions, you will show me the origin. You get, it didn't start when I became an authority. A lot of people know me in this town. I'll ask you for it, or you will show me before I sell for you. It started a long time ago. Of course, I made my own mistakes, so I'm not saying I didn't. But as soon as I started understanding the basics of this thing, of course, I jumped into real estate and started marketing immediately. It's not like I stayed like 3 months, 4 months, learned. No, I jumped and started marketing. As I was learning, I was doing. So yeah, there are 1 or 2 mistakes I have made. You get, which of course I paid the hard way. Oh, I have my own share of mistakes. Yeah, I paid the hard way. But when I started understanding the basics, I said, and that's why I teach it. That's why I tell realtors that it's your duty, is your authority to ask for those things. Walk into the office and say, sir, respectfully, sir, is it okay if I see the root title of this estate, of this land? I want to see how the transfer was made. That's it. They will show you. One more question, sir, as we wrap up. Any questions online? Someone says 2 hours is not enough. Come and sleep in our office now. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. The first question is, you said you select properties, you focus on properties you market.
Yes, sir.
So what now determines your focus?
So if you came earlier, I explained it. It starts from FFN, your goal, right? Is what I said here, right? Starts from your financial number. Next is what? From the financial number will now determine the amount as per sales you're going to do that month, or you're trying to target. After that, you now break down that sales amount into properties. Based on that amount, you can now select properties that you're going to promote within that period. Is that what I said? Yeah. So that one is now left for you. It's not, there's no hard and fast rule to that one. There's no, you must do this or do that. No. You just decide that, okay, these 3 properties, to me, I believe that having one property that if you put in effort there and you close that deal, will hit your financial number. It's not better than running up and down every day. Do you get? However, some of us need to build capacity for that big deal. So that's why I usually encourage you to have something low cost, mid-range, and maybe high range. So just spread it around like that. But then again, limit your properties to a certain amount per time so that you don't stretch yourself too thin. Make sense?
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm not quite. You said, like, if I say I want to focus on maybe
Z properties, yeah.
Properties now to market, I'm not quite clear on how to do the selection.
Okay, so if you don't mind, just watch the replay of this video, this training. The replay will be available. We can send it to you. Please send me a link to the replay so you can watch it. When you watch it, I think you'll be clear. Then maybe next time you can have questions after you've watched.
And then another question in terms of this root title.
Root title, yes, sir.
I mean, like we went to do inspection.
Yes, sir.
Then how do we? At what point will you now want to know the roots title? Is it before?
At any point, before, after, within, you can ask for it, and it will be shown to you.
So can you show that to the client also?
Well, yes, most clients will demand to see it. Most that understand real estate, they want to see it. So of course, you take them to the place, they show them the thing. Like I said, most people not release it to you. For some people, they release it to me because they know that I'll keep it confidential. Do you get? Others will not. They'll not use it and be spreading it around. Yeah, do you get? So some will release it to you. If not, you take the client to the place. They'll show him the root title. He cites it, reads it through. Sometimes they come with their lawyers as well. So the lawyer will see it, read it, and understand it before he proceeds.
Sorry, I think it's more of the function of the lawyer to do that.
So, well, yeah, if you want to leave that to the lawyer, that's fine. But the lawyer is not going to communicate with your client. And you need to get the client to that point where he wants to now see it. And you have to also know about it. Sorry, one more question, please, so that we don't take too much time. Yeah.
First, I really want to appreciate this effort.
Thank you, sir.
Today's my first day.
Wow,
And
amazing.
You know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, my question is this. You talked about building capacity.
Yes,
and
sir.
For me, in my little knowledge, I understand that realtors, there's a lot of encumbrances facing in time of sales and all that. Then as a beginner, what are the basics I need to get or requirement to get myself certified as a rep before I jump into making
Realtor School now, that's like number one. Just go to www.realtors.school. Can start from there. We are giving out a discount of 50K for now. The last cohort for the year is starting on Saturday 5th. We're starting the cohort. You're in that cohort, I mean? Yeah, that's why she nodded. We're starting the cohort on Saturday. It's a 4-week training where we teach people rudiments from the scratch of real estate up until when they start making sales. So most of all the things I said are in the school. And then over the weekends, Saturdays of that 4 days, we go live just like this within the school. And then we talk about lessons from the week. The videos, the Realtor School are recorded videos already. So you watch the videos. It's divided into 4 weeks. You watch the videos, and at the end of the week, we go live. Either myself, Jacinta, or any of the other trainers within the school. We go live and we handle your questions from the week and prepare you for the next week. At the end of the 4 weeks, we give you a project. That project is supposed to help you do that 1,101 rule. That stuff is supposed to help you make your first sale. That's the goal of that project. We want to get you speed up to run so you can make your first sale. Then you get his certificates, and of course, me, chief of real estate. You know, so that's it. Then, during the conference and awards, we're going to have a general graduation for all the cohorts of this year during conference and award. You know, physically, you take pictures, get your certificate, and then you can frame it and mount it. You get, yeah. So that's it. And then we also guide you through to, you know, to questions, concerns you have within the school. So we have a Telegram group where you can always ask questions, and then we can guide you there. So that's the first and main thing. Number 2 is something we call expert modeling. You look for experts in the industry within your circle, and you model what they are doing. Just simply watch them, watch their videos, watch the experts. So I'm not talking of quacks. Experts, people that have proven results. Watch their videos, see what they do, just model it. Success leaves clues. You get model. Those are like the 2 ways you can start and grow as a realtor. The first and most important is Realtor School. So at this point, we come to the end of today. Thank you so much. We won't go through the conference and awards. Just go to realtorsconference.com to register. The VIP and VVIP, like I said earlier, the early bird is dead. So you're not paying full price, 50K for VIP and 100K for VVIP. And the truth about the matter I said is that 100K to me is even, I mean, because the value they will get is way more than that money, right? And so that's it for today. We'll continue again next week, same station, same venue. Thank you so much for your time. I know it took so much time. I'm sorry to have stretched it, but I hope you did gain value of your time, right? Yeah. So please, one more thing. Please take actions, like note down action plans. Much more than sharing knowledge with you, I would like to see you grow and excel. I mean, that's why I can take my 2 hours to come stand here and share stuff, right? So please take action and I'll see you on top. Enjoy a great day.